Hey everyone, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and I've got a few things that I'd like to talk to you about. This video is coming kind of late, but I had some things I had to take care of in my personal life. I've kind of gotten those things smoothed out. Now I've got some things I want to talk to you about the week. Now, I've got 3 things that I want to talk to you that are positive, and 3 things I want to talk to you that, in my personal opinion, are negative. Let's start with the positive, because we want to kind of start on a good note here. First positive thing, the Black Panther premiere happened in Hollywood on Monday. It looked spectacular. Everybody was out there in their royal African garb. It was Wakanda on the red carpet, the purple carpet. It was beautiful. And the positive note, the movie is getting fantastic first reviews. They haven't come out with their actual detailed reviews yet. They've got an embargo still on, so we can't really know exactly what happens. I'm not gonna look at a spoiler review when it comes out anyway. From everything that I've heard, this looks like it's going to be a fantastic movie, and I couldn't be happier. This could be quite possibly the biggest black movie in history. And yes, I'm going to talk about that. Ta-da! I'm going to talk about more black things later on in this video. But right now, we're talking about positive stuff. I'm loving everything that I'm hearing about it. I loved everything that I saw on the red carpet. Everybody looked fantastic. I was proud because this kind of representation doesn't happen to black people every day. So allow me to kind of soak in this moment. And next, the second thing actually has to do with something that's not comic book related, but it is video game related, and that's the new Mario Brothers movie that's going to be out by DreamWorks. Has got Shigeru Miyamoto working closely with the film. We've already had one Mario Brothers movie. It didn't turn out so good. But now we have something that's going to be animated, so it's probably going to have that classic Nintendo style that we've been seeing from the Mario franchise over the last decade plus. And we've got the creator of the Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda and Metroid and Donkey Kong and all that. He's going to be working closely. I don't see this messing up. I actually see this as something that's going to be huge, and if this is something that's huge, we are opening the door for other franchises to possibly be made as well. Who wouldn't want to see a Metroid movie? I would love to see a Legend of Zelda trilogy. Oh my god, I would love to see a Legend of Zelda trilogy. So, if Miyamoto's going to be working with DreamWorks on the Mario Brothers movie, that's a positive in my book, and I'd like to thank Josh for letting me on this story because I needed a positive thing, because now they're balanced, as you can see. Have you not told me? The third thing that I want to talk about is that the season finale of Happy happened. Happy was a show that was on the Sci-Fi Network, and if you didn't know it was on cable, you would never know because, oh my gosh, some of the language and stuff in this show was absolutely shocking. You would think it was on HBO or Showtime with what they premiered, and it was crazy. It was bonkers, and it took me about 4 episodes in to really kind of get in the groove. And if you don't know what it's about, I can give you the quick synopsis without ruining anything. You got an ex-cop who is now a hitman, and he is visited by his daughter, who he doesn't know exists. He is visited by her daughter's imaginary friend, who happens to be a blue unicorn with wings. That's like the 5th craziest thing on this show. And it shows bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This show is bananas. And it's crazy. And it took me a while to kind of get used to the craziness, and then when I got used to it, it throws on another level of crazy. And I liked what I saw. Even though the end got a little too crazy for me, it was alright. So I was happy to see it kind of wrap up. I was kind of surprised on how it wrapped up, but I was happy with it. But this segues into the negative, and here's where we're going to start the negative. The first thing, it's happy. So I was expecting there to be kind of like a nice little wrap up, 8 episodes, boom, you get it on DVD or Blu-ray, and you got it, and it's all nice and neat, and it's a crazy story. You know, one of those things where it's like, you gotta watch this, it's insane. And they're coming out with the 2nd season, and sometimes You just need to make something that's really out there and just let it live. Case in point, The Matrix. Matrix, the first Matrix, phenomenal movie. It makes you challenge everything that you think you know. The action sequences that they introduced in that movie were not done, for the most part, by any other movie before its time. And it was an experience. And if they just let it live, it would have been near flawless. We'll just say near flawless for the sake of semantics. Then they made the sequels. If you are familiar with The Matrix, and you're familiar with the Matrix sequels, you understand the point that I'm making. That they go over the top for over the top sake. That they go meta for meta sake. And that's what I'm afraid Happy's going to do. I wish that it would have wrapped up nicely. I'm not going to say how I want it to wrap up, but if you have read the comics, you know how I want it to wrap up. So I was a little disappointed at that. Maybe the other episodes will be great. Maybe they'll be fine. Maybe they'll do something phenomenal. I'm being a little bit of a skeptic because I've seen this happen before, where they take something beautiful and run it into the ground. My second negative has to do with the trailer that was released Tuesday morning. I know, I'm super late, but the first trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp was released 8 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. I originally did not like this trailer, and I found a lot of flaws with it. Just me personally. If you're excited about this trailer, I'm happy for you, and you can skip ahead if you don't want me to be a Debbie Downer on this. Two of them are things that just irk me about Ant-Man in general. The physics and the way that the science works around the physics in that universe only works when they want it to work. Case in point, in the trailer, Hank Pym shrinks a building and then picks it up like a suitcase and carries it around. I have an issue with this as far as the physics is concerned, because according to the physics in the first Ant-Man, it's not changing the mass. It's just changing the amount of space that it's taking up. Therefore, if you're dealing with a full-size building, I don't care how small it is. If it's the same mass, you can't just carry it around like some luggage. That's my issue. Another issue that I had was in the driving scene where the vehicle shrinks and it tends to be going the same speed as a full-size vehicle. The amount of RPMs and the amount of distance, it has grown exponentially. It would not be able to keep up the pace with the real size van. So as awesome as that scene is going to look on the big screen, I just caught that in the trailer and I was like, ugh. The third thing I had a problem with in this trailer had to deal with that one scene where the guy is throwing knives and the Wasp is dodging it. And the first knife I had no problem with. And all of a sudden he gained rapid fire knife throwing skills. Like full extension with one knife, and then all of a sudden he's got like knives coming out of his wrist. I guess we don't see the guy, but apparently it's just rapid fire. You shouldn't have blatant mistakes in your trailer like that. And then the last thing that I have to talk about, and this one I saved for last because this one upset me the most, was Black Lightning. Remember when I talked earlier in the video about how I loved how Black Panther looked, and I loved the feel of it, and I loved how it looks like it's going to be great? Black Lightning has turned into the opposite for me. I was excited about this. At the beginning of the year, I said, this is my number 10 spot. It beat out other movies. It beat out Ant-Man and the Wasp. It beat out The Dark Phoenix. It beat out Aquaman. It beat out so many other movies. So I was looking forward to this show. And the first episode was decent enough. But the cliches were too great. And the things that bothered me about the tone of the first episode carry over and multiply into the subsequent episodes. And one thing that I didn't notice about the first episode that I hope that they would fix in latter episodes was that there's hardly any Black Lightning to be seen. We've had 3 episodes, and I'm guessing we've had 15 minutes worth of Black Lightning, like actually in costume, over 2 hours. Say you go to a Batman movie, and in the span of that whole Batman movie, he's in costume for 15 minutes, you want your money back. right? Hand over the money, Mr. Wayne. That's how I feel. I've invested not a lot of time in this show, but the cliches about the black on black crime, the community, the hood, this, that, and the other, and then I'm not getting much Black Lightning for my buck. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm out. I wanted to like it. I really did. I even stuck around for the second half of Luke Cage, but we're this early in. I gotta cut my ties. You could have been the next Flash. You could have been the start of something new, like Arrow season 1. I'm just not feeling it, my dude. I'm sorry, Jefferson Pierce, but this is where we part ways. So that's been my week for things that have come out comic book related. What do you guys think? Did you like a lot of the things that I liked? Do you disagree with me on some of my negatives? You let me know in the comment section down below. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to my channel. If you look over here, we've got some recent videos if you want to check some of those out, and if you want to share anything that you've seen here, feel free to do so. As always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.